What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And I couldn't be more excited today than to be talking to you about one of the best years in music history, 1968, and the top 5 songs from that year. Of course, as always, this is my opinion, and so let's get right to it. At number 5... Voodoo Child, Slight Return by Jimi Hendrix off of his record Electric Ladyland of that year. This was the closing track on that album, and man, definitely by far the best. Of course, there's also Voodoo Child that comes earlier in the record, a 10-plus minute blues jam, but this one is just a space rock. It's blues, it's rock, it's something out of this world. The way that the music goes between fades back and forth throughout, and the crazed drumming of Mitch Mitchell on top of just the loose vibe of it, and Hendrix just really going full force vocally on this, where he's saying, I'm standing next to a mountain and I'll chop it down with the back of my hand. And then it's such a bold statement, but then to back it up musically with his guitar solo on this thing, it's like unlike anything you've ever heard before. It is incredible and one of Hendrix's best songs, period. And that is at my number 5. Now, folks, at number 4... Crossroads by Cream. Man, I love this song so much. This is a live recording of Cream from the album Wheels of Fire, and this is their version of the old Robert Johnson song Crossroad Blues, which is a very different take because obviously the old version is just Robert Johnson and acoustic guitar, but this is Cream, and we're talking Eric Clapton, and we're talking Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, amped up with the amps up to 11, and just the energy, you can just feel it palpably in this song. The 2 guitar solos are just unlike anything. I would say it's up there as one of Eric Clapton's best guitar solos of all time, and that's really saying something because White Room was also on this record, Born Under a Bad Sign. Just so many great songs, and but this one stands out, especially just how tight they are as a band coming out of the solos and back into the verses. Ginger Baker is just such a tight drummer, and Jack Bruce is no slouch as well on the bass. Just incredible, and that is at my number 4. So now, folks, at number 3, Hey Jude. Hey Jude by the Beatles. I'm actually surprised this didn't end up higher on my list because, as many of you know, the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. And man, this is one of my top 5 Beatles songs ever, which was released in '68 as a single, later ended up on the Hey Jude album, which was a compilation album that came out a few years later. But man, what an amazing song to just throw off as a single, not even put on an official record. And, you know, McCartney's just one of his best songs that he wrote for Julian Lennon, who was, you know, having trouble going through as a child John's divorce with Cynthia at the time. And just such a beautiful, uplifting song, which, you know, not many people, if you didn't know that story, you would have no idea. It's just he wrote it in such a way that it can mean anything to anyone. And just the way the song ends with that build up and the, you know, it's 7+ minutes and the na, 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 you can't help but not sing along to it. It's just one of the best and most fun rock songs ever. And McCartney just riffing over it with the screams. You know, there's not many people that screamed as well as McCartney. Well, John Lennon did, but to me, have 2 of the best vocalists of all time in the same band, and George Harrison. And hey, no matter what you say about Ringo, he's great too. And it's just the vibe of this song is perfect. It is one of the best. So that is at my number 3. Now at number 2, I see trees of green. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. I love this song so much. It is just, to me, one of the most beautiful songs of all time. The orchestration on this track is just top notch. And Louis Armstrong, I mean, what can you say? Just one of the most amazing jazz artists of all time. But the way he delivers this ballad vocally, I never would have expected it at that time in '68. I'm sure a lot of people didn't either. They were expecting more of, Satchmo doing his thing on the trumpet and doing, the fun, upbeat jazz stuff. But his voice on this song is just so affecting. I cannot picture another person doing it justice the way that he does. It's just so emotional. And, to have the worldly experience that he did going into this track when he sings lines like, "They'll learn much more than I'll ever know," talking about the children of the future. It's wonderful, and it's been used in so many great ways. To me, I always think of how Barry Levinson used it to great effect in Good Morning Vietnam, showing all the horrific things juxtaposed with the beauty of this song. It's just it was a really cool way to show off such a beautiful song. But really, as I said, one of the most lovely songs ever recorded. I put it up there with Imagine by John Lennon and One by U2 as just one of the most beautiful tracks ever recorded. And that's just at my number 2, folks. So now, number 1. Please allow me to introduce myself. Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones off of their album Beggar's Banquet. This track is just amazing. And every single track on this top 5 has been amazing. But for me, this is the one that I tend to revisit the most, just because it's got so many different things. But I think for me, the thing I love the most about it is the rhythm, which a lot of people don't realize when they're listening to it. It has a Latin rhythm. It has a very Cuban kind of mambo kind of rhythm to it that's just so fun and upbeat. But then also, from a songwriting perspective, especially for someone like Mick Jagger, who I never really put him on the same level as like Lennon or Bob Dylan, but he really dug deep into this thing and sang from the perspective of the devil and went through the history of the world in such a way that it's like, man, you can really picture this thing. And for me, a lot of people actually see this song as controversial, and that maybe it's not... maybe Jagger was trying to be pro-devil, basically, and whether he was or he wasn't, I don't see it that way. I just see it as it's a song about the devil and real, saying that he is a real thing. And to me, as a Christian myself, I think we always have to be reminded of that fact, because if we're not, it's very easy for the devil to, kind of come into our lives and mess it up. So it's a good reminder in that regard, and it's also just, one of the best rock songs ever. And Keith Richards, his guitar solo on this thing, he's got the guitar like so hot, you can just almost feel it coming through the speakers. It's just so cool. And then the hoo-hoos in the background, the way the song builds, it's 6+ minutes, but it never gets old. I could listen to this song every day, and I just love it. The groove of it is so cool. Such a great mix of rock, as I said, Latin rhythm, and just amazing songwriting from the Rolling Stones. I think it is their best song in their whole catalog. So that's my top 5, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you think I missed anything, and leave me your top 5, and be so bold, leave me a top 10 even. 68 was an amazing year in music, folks. So, don't chintz out on me here. Let me know what you think. And as always, we've got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, Heart of an Artist interviews, so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva la vinyl. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out some of my other content that you can see on the screen now. Thank you again for supporting Johnny Radio. Take care, and I'll see you soon.